Hey guys, and welcome back to BeardYGO. So today we have got the state championships, which will be taking place in Cape Town and in Johannesburg here in South Africa. And today I just want to go over a couple of things with regards to this event. So yeah, firstly, I wish everyone who is going to be attending all the best of luck, and hopefully this video will just help you a little bit, maybe last minute, just to prepare yourself a little bit when it comes to this tournament. So we know that this tournament is a high level event, and it's usually the pinnacle of the year in terms of events as well. And so I would say that you need to be prepared. Make sure that you've got all your registration and everything sorted. Make sure that you've got a deck list copy, and if you are also running cards of different languages and stuff, maybe just also print out an English version. I know that Neuron is allowed to be used in terms of high level players, as long as you are only using the calculator, and yeah, so if there is a discrepancy or something with regards to languages, I'm sure that you should be able to use Neuron as well, just to get the correct language of the card, English, which would be the language for us. So if not, then just make sure that you've got a printed out copy, just in case you are running a different language printing. Right, so let's get into Edo Pro, and then we can quickly have a look at a couple of decks and stuff that you should definitely be seeing in this tournament, with regards to the meta and everything, and just a couple of other notable cards that I think could make a big impact in the tournament. Right, so here we are in Edo, and of course number one deck that we are going to be just viewing over here, and that would be Branded Despias. So this is most likely going to be the number one contender for first place, but a lot of people have been preparing for this as well. So definitely I would say that Branded Despia is one of the best decks to be represented at the event. Right, so let's quickly get on to another deck over here, and that would be Sword Souls. Right, so Sword Soul has been a very good deck for quite a little bit, and the ban list has just made it actually quite a bit easier to be taking events again. They got a new card with regards to the Psychic End Punisher. This thing is just amazing, basically just beats Despia, where they just can't get over it. So yeah, that's actually pretty insane. Definitely something to look out for. And yeah, so next one we go on to SAD. So SAD, this is basically what Based was, and the ban list has dropped its power quite a bit, but this deck is still a very strong contender to be doing really well in the tournament as well. So with regards to this, definitely prepare yourself. As always, you guys can just pause the videos at each of these deck lists and then just have a look at it, maybe make some fine tuning and everything to your main or to your side deck, but yeah, I would definitely keep these decks in mind. Right, so then going on to the last deck over here, we have got another contender for first place, I would say, and that would be Punk Therions. So I think this will be a very powerful deck to go up against. It actually is pretty disgusting when it comes to creating its boards and creating certain situations that you won't necessarily be able to play through. So if you have a look at like Naturia Rosewhip, for example, this is a very powerful little card where your opponent can only activate a spell trap once per turn, and combined with Regulus, which just negates the effect of a card that's activated, it doesn't negate the activation. That means if you you've got Rosewhip, your opponent activates something like, let's say, Lightning Storm, for example, you just negate it with Regulus, and that's the only spell trap that they are allowed to use for the turn. The deck also makes the Scythe Lock as well, and yeah, it's usually about 2-3 negates plus the Scythe Lock. Sometimes the Rosewhip will be in there. Right, so this is probably my favorite pick if I was going to States. Yeah, by the way, I'm not going to States. I actually have some other commitments which was planned way ahead of time. So yeah, by the time we found out when States would be held, then I already had plans. So yeah, just know that you guys have my support, and I'll be there in spirit as always. Right, so we've got a couple of cards over here that we would like to have a look at, and first thing would be Therions King Regulus. So Regulus is an insane card, and this I think will be benefiting quite a lot of decks, and I would definitely look out for these. So you're looking at like Sky Strikers, for example, or my favorite Earth Machines. They'll be running Regulus now, which will make them quite a bit more powerful. And yeah, I definitely think you should have a look at possibly facing those decks as well. Then if we move over to the next deck, which will be Brigades. Now you're probably wondering why I've got the Fabled Cerberil here, and that is basically because branded Brigades is still a thing. Right, so they just got the power boost with the 10 key coming back, and they lost Verte. Right, so Verte being gone, usually a lot of people are like, yeah, no, okay, we can't play the Brand Fusion version anymore, but actually you can. So you would still be able to end on the Mirror Jade. The thing is, you'll be getting the Fabled Cerberil, and you'll be bringing it out and then synchroing it with a Fractal for Muddy Mud Dragon, which substitutes itself as Fallen of Elbaz, and then you can still end on the Mirror Jade. So branded Brigade is still a thing. Definitely have a look out for that deck as well. Right, then we're coming to probably the most common hand traps that you'll be seeing, besides Nibiru. These are actually very, very good this format. So Ash just all round really good. This is basically just to stop branded fusion. Then you've got Ghost Spell, which is also seeing a lot of play at the moment due to the format as well, and DD Crow as well, which is really good. And then also your generic monster negate, but with Effect Veiler, and then also with Infinite Impermanence. So these two, you just drop it on an Aluba, they don't get the branded fusion, you are pretty happy. Then some tech cards that I think are pretty relevant is Zombie World and Necro World Banshee. So we are having a look at decks like Virtual Worlds, the branded Despias. You know, they can play these cards to combat other strategies, and this card over here is just insane. It's one of the best floodgates in my opinion. And yeah, that's another deck that I also didn't really mention is Virtual Worlds. I mean, the Adventure Virtual Worlds are still there. They got Desires back as well if they do play it. So yeah, I would say Virtual Worlds is also quite an interesting pick, but definitely a very powerful deck still. And I think the ban list has also just basically raised its ceiling by nerfing the top decks. I mean, we're not going to see Prank Kids being played because it's basically unplayable without the Meow Meow Moo. And you won't really see Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, I don't think, unless a lot of people have decided to just play it without the Verte. That would actually be a very interesting one. But I would say that probably the only deck that will actually play that is Heroes. Right, so after the little zombie engine, we have got Super Poly. So Super Poly is probably your best bet to face off against Despias. So if your deck can afford to run Super Poly, or you already running a fusion based deck, then I would definitely recommend maxing out on this guy over here. And so now we come to the last card, and the ban list has graced us with a really old card. I think it's been 17 years actually that Change of Heart got banned. So 17 years ago Change of Heart got banned, and now we finally have it back at 1. And yeah, this is actually an insane card and just a real blowout if it just goes off. It's also massive bait, so I can definitely see this being played in the tournament as well by quite a number of strategies, just to either bait out an opponent, to get rid of a negate, or to actually take something of real value and use it against your opponent. So yeah guys, that is basically it. I hope you guys have fun, and I mean that's what Yu-Gi-Oh is all about. Look, it's all about fun, and yeah, may the best deck win, and I look forward to seeing what the results are. Once again, thanks so much for watching, and yeah, if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It will really help me out so that I can continue making content for you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Cheers and good luck.